Hi everybody, Nicci from Gracie's house. I am live on the Redesign with Prima page. I'm a brand ambassador for Redesign with Prima. Today we're going to be working with a couple of transfers. Hopefully we get the beautiful pink and red florals. As you come on live, just, do you know what we found just lately that if I pop a little comment in, it sometimes triggers, I haven't seen anyone come on yet. Hopefully we'll have some people watching. So we're going to use Earthly Delights, and I'm also going to be using Flower Collector. So I'm hoping everyone's there. It just said it was reconnecting. I'm on the right internet. Let's hope we don't have any internet issues today, guys. So like I said, as you come on, Patricia, hi, I can see you're watching. Tonya, just drop me a little comment. I'm hoping that I can see comments. I'm hoping we don't have any technical problems. This monster, it feels like a big piece. I feel like I've done small projects recently. This feels like a big project. So this is a more modern piece. Good morning from Florida. Thank you. So this started out live. It is so heavy, but it is modern. So I didn't have to do a great deal of, hi Jackie, nice to see you. Didn't need to do a great deal of kind of scrubbing, horrible prep. Hi Helen, and all of those nasty things. Just a general clean, a scuff sand. I have painted in Paint Couture in Midnight Blue on the bottom, hi Brigitte, and Sea Glass. This colour, I think it looks more blue on camera than it is. It's you know, I love turquoise. It's turquoise. It's in your face and fab. And yesterday I painted the whole piece turquoise in the Sea Glass, but I felt like I wanted something a little bit more. So I have done a bit of a cloudy blend, sort of halfway through the middle. It wraps around the sides. We're going to go for the Earthly Delights. Hi Jilly from Manchester, thanks for watching, and Catherine from Buffalo, thank you. We're going to have some florals from the top and coming up from the bottom. And we're going to use about, maybe about a half or 2/3. This comes in 3 sheets. Morning Rosie. This comes in 2 sheets, the Flower Collector. And I've gone for the gold one. So there's also the newer black one version of this. And originally I was going to use black, and then against, you've got to have gold against this turquoise, right? Okay, so let's get started. I have pre-cut today just because there was kind of a lot of working out to do. Let's get started. So I have 2 sections. I've just got to work out which sections I've got. That is the bottom piece. And let's move those out of the way. Okay. Like I said, this feels like I haven't done such a big piece for a while. So normally one of my top tips when you're doing a big piece like this is to lay it down on its back, because you're not having to worry about the tape coming off. If you've taped your pieces on, you're not having to fight against gravity. So that would be my top tip. And I have done one live, but it's just for the purposes of a live, it is just easier to have it upright for you guys to see properly. So I have cut my piece ready. I've decided as well, and these are all decisions, hi Lorraine, that you have to make when you're planning how much of your transfer you're going to use. If you're going to be cutting it up, you need to think about, so this isn't completely flat. Some of your drawers, some pieces that you work on, the drawers will sit flat and everything will be flush and nice and easy. This one, not so much, but I still want it to wrap around. I don't want it to only be on the drawers. If there's a little bit overlapping, I kind of want that. I want it to be a little bit more organic on this particular piece. So it's making more work for me. I'm going to have to go around drawer edges. I may not fill into this section, but I definitely do want to wrap it around the bottom. So I'm just trying to let you know what my thought process is for when you kind of come get up against these projects and you have to think about these things yourselves. So hi Veronique from Paris. So this is the section I have for the bottom, and because it's not entirely even, flowers aren't even, they don't grow even, we just have to work out what placement. So I have decided that although that this ends up being more loaded this side, I kind of want my leaves to end at the edges of the drawers. So this is where we're going to be looking at for this placement here. I'm going to have that as low as I can in the middle. And I'm just going to take these sections off because we're going to start on the middle piece. Okay, so that's where we're going to be going. And what am I going to do? Because I've taped everything so that it didn't stick to itself, it didn't do anything naughty. I'm going to pop that bit there just so that I'm in the right place. I'm going to take that piece off. And if you're doing it this way, it is a good idea to kind of pop your piece of tape on, and then rather than taking it off and fiddling, lifting it and removing your backing sheet with it in position, because then your top sheet is stuck in the place that you want it. Do you see what I mean? Does that make sense? So as I said, I'm not gonna push it into the bit behind the frame here, behind the drawers. I'm just gonna have it on the drawer fronts, but I do want it to wrap at the bottom. So I'm gonna start, I've got to plan this right, I've got to start at the bottom, make sure I'm level, that looks level, and I'm gonna stick it down at the bottom first. And I'm gonna have to lift this down. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, and I have made things difficult for myself here. So I'm going to need my knife. I do want this to wrap here, and I do want it to fit in to that crease. So I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to get it into that crease so that I know I've got enough transfer stuck in there. Does that make sense? I want it to wrap around here. I want a little bit on there, and then I'm going to cut it for the drawer. So I'm just going to stick it there so it's held, but I'm not pressing any of these upper parts in. Again, does that make sense? I'm not pressing any of that down. I'm just pressing where I definitely know I want it to stick. I hope that makes sense to everybody. I'm just going to cut with my craft knife. I've got a Stanley blade. You can use a normal craft knife. You guys in the States have got X-Acto knives. I actually don't know what that means, but I know it's got a blade, so there we go. I'm going to just make a slice. Oh, it's stuck. There we go. It's not wanting to go there. There we go. I'm following the bottom edge of my drawer. I'm hoping you can hear me talking then. I was concentrating. Yes, Anna, exactly. Exactly what I've just said is you may have missed me saying that. The easiest way to do this is to lay it on the floor, but for the purposes of getting the camera angle and being able to talk to you guys and being able to see your comments, it's kind of easy to do it this way. So we're going to get that piece on first, but having cut that now, I don't have to worry about this piece. I just can get, and it's a section, we can work in sections. And do you know what? Sometimes I find I like the wooden stick. I use both and I interchange, and I always say interchange. I just feel sometimes the wooden sticks have got a little bit more give. So there's going to be a little bit of layering when we use the flower collector. This one's a first for me. I've not used Earthly Delights before, so I'm quite excited to use this. Also, I wanted something that had depth, but also that really wanted to make that pop. So I kind of wanted all of the colours all on the one piece. And I do love navy blue. Navies, blues and turquoises, greens, that's my bag. And it's got quite a curve on this front piece, so I'm going to have to work as I go along. And once I start pulling the top sheet up, make sure. Trying to get my hair hair out of the way so you can vaguely see what I'm doing. It doesn't want to stick underneath there. I would like it to wrap around there, but it doesn't want to stick. I think it's because it's on the curve. It's trickier to... Oh, there we go. That's better. Once you get it started, it's easier to help things release as you go along. Oh, that doesn't want to do that. I don't want that to do that. There we go. Let's stick you back down. See, I just lifted a piece up there and it was still stuck to the top sheet quite a lot, so it managed to stick it back down. The curve is working against me this afternoon, for sure. I'm going to take that piece off. That's getting in my way. That's just getting in my way. That's better. I can see what I'm doing under there now. So if you've got any questions, I will try and answer as I go along, but I'm also concentrating. I'm trying to talk to you at the same time. It doesn't always work. We do our best. Has anyone used this Earthly Delights before? I've not seen huge amounts of projects with this one. Hi Sue, how are you? And I have to say, I was probably a little nervous of the colours when I first saw it. Because it looks very red in the imagery, but actually there's quite a lot of pink tones in it. Red has been historically a tricky colour for me to sell. I've done commissions in red, but to actually sell a red piece, it's always been either very, very slow or not happening. So I was always quite nervous to do this colour transfer. But as I said, there's actually an awful lot of pink tones in it. So if you can see, they're quite pinky reds. Hi Kay, Sue. You've got to look at matching Bombay cabinets later. Is this new projects to buy, Sue? That sounds exciting. Who doesn't get excited about buying Bombay chests or cabinets? There's a bit under there that is I'm just not getting to. Probably because my drawer's in the way a little bit. Doesn't want to. Oh, nearly kicked my whole glass of water over there as well. Nearly had a spillage in the village. Okay. I think we've got that there. Tie my hair out of the way, aren't I? Oh, I don't like these curves. I've started on the most difficult part, I think, of the whole unit. There we go. So that's going to be our middle section at the bottom. Let's carry on. And I'm just going to line it back up again on the bottom of my drawer. That looks about right. Looks about where my tape was. I've had to move that slightly down because we've gone around these creases, but that looks pretty well lined up to me. Yes, for the bedroom, you just have one matching. So I'm going to get this nice big flat piece on first, because I know it's in the right place for me. Oh, our weather cannot decide what to do. So yesterday we had sun and snow, and the day before my husband, we were sat out in the garden and he got a t-shirt tan. It's the most bizarre weather we are having at the moment. So how are you guys? Did you have a good happy Easter time break? Did you have time off? It's very, very pretty, the florals in this. This is very similar to the Vigorous Violet transfer. Hi Vilman. It's really similar to the Vigorous Violet in the kind of layout and size. So it is one of those big ones. So I've still got, with what I've got on here, I've still got quite a big like section of the middle, which, you know, you can use if you're using pieces that have got inset panels. You could still reuse those, not reuse, but you get more than one project out of one tube of these big ones for sure. Depending on the size of your project, I mean, this is relatively big. Technically, you could get much more than that out of one of these bigger ones. It just depends how you decide to use it. So again, I've got creases here where I've got those shapes on the drawers, so I'm having to work around those. There's all this has got it's a complicated piece essentially. Our favourites. Don't you just love it when it's not nice and flat? And that bit just doesn't want to go around the curve at all. So this tool has this little nook in it, and this is what this is ideal for, is trying to get yourself around a curve like that. I do find it works very well because it pushes it into the crease and it goes around the curve for you too. I think I'm getting there. Now I've got to plan what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to cut through the middle, but really it's just to wrap it around the drawer rather than, as I said, I'm not really bothered about having it on this frame piece here. So I'm just going to go, luckily there's a line that follows the line of the drawer, but I'm going to go a little bit in between the two. So I'm following that line, but I'm going a little bit underneath it. So we've got another little crease to get into on the top of the drawer. And then we've got all the little greenery pieces to get around the drawer, the curve. Where's my You could also, you know, do these, you could also have these drawers separate, but because I needed to see the spacing, if you took these out and put them all next to each other, you wouldn't have the spacing of the frame but in between. So again, it is all kind of dependent on your piece and how it's constructed and what your plan is, how you want everything to look at the end. just need to get that little corner down. Make sure it's stuck. I'll just start from this end instead. There we go, we'll start from that end. And I'm just going to burnish those down with my thumb while I go, just so that I know that they're down and stuck nicely. All these pesky curves on the drawers. Not wanting to stick today. There we go, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's get a bit more over here. Now, on the darker colours, you will notice that the halo... Lisa, you there? Woohoo! You'll notice the halo is more visible on the darker colours. It can still be reduced hugely. So make sure you burnish well. So that's rubbing with whatever tool you choose to use. Make sure you burnish well as you remove the top sheet, and then afterwards burnish well. And then when you finally put your top coat on, even on the darker colours, those halos will disappear. Oh, Patricia, I know. You know, we do challenge ourselves and life. I mean... I have a vision. And, you know, we get frustrated because I know how it can look and will look, but... You know, for the purposes of showing you guys, I want things to happen like, you know, I want it to be done. I want it to be quick. Wouldn't that be great if I could just kind of click my fingers and each section would just do itself? I'm not sure how long that sort of satisfying feeling would last though. Knowing that you haven't really done it yourself. Not sure. There's a bit there that's annoying me that doesn't want to come up, so we'll go back to that piece. How are we getting on down here? These pesky curves are going to be the end of me today, I think. Because I feel like this is taking forever. And I wanted to get some of the gold letters on for you as well. It really does not want to stick down. That bit, this big leaf here does not want to stick. No, it still doesn't want to. We've got it. There we go. Getting there, getting there, getting there. Okay, I think we've got it. I think we've got it. There we go. Woo! Didn't want to though, crikey. There we go, that's better. Feels like I'm getting an arm workout this morning. Why don't we send in Venice, Italia? Are you struggling to find a retailer? Eileena, are you struggling to find a retailer in Italy? I think we have a retailer in Italy. I will answer, I'll have a look for you, try and help you out at the end. Unless, is Helen still watching? If Helen's watching, she might be able to jump in and help me there. If not, I will have a look for you. I'm sure we'll be able to help out somehow. Because we do have retailers across Europe. So I'm sure we can help you out. Back to curves on the bottom again. And if you, sometimes you'll be able to hear air bubbles. Hi Catherine, thank you. Sometimes you'll be able to hear air bubbles, and don't rub them. Just get, again, your craft knife or whatever blade you're using and literally just dab it. Don't drag it, dab it, and then push it down. Because if you drag it, it could lift. It means if there's an air bubble, it means that it's not stuck down somewhere. If you press and drag it, it can lift that whole section and leave you with a hole. So dab it with a point, a needle, a pin, or anything like that, and then press down, and the air will come out and allow the adhesive to contact properly. I'm gonna have to get in the way of you guys so you won't be able to see what I'm doing for a minute. I might. These curves are really annoying. And the other reason you need to get rid of air bubbles, if you do get air bubbles, is because when you do top coat, if the air is still trapped in there, that's what will cause it to crack and maybe peel back. It's usually the culprit, if you've ever experienced that. So it's still Easter holidays for us. My husband was supposed to have taken Gracie out while I was doing my live. I can hear her shouting for the dogs in the garden. Hopefully you can't. Oh, there we go. So how are we doing? Cool, that seems like it's just taken me forever, so I apologise. It feels like it's taking a long time. I'm not really getting through much. So I'm going to crack on, get that piece stuck. Let's get rubbing, less talking. Get rid of that piece of tape. Out of the way. I like these bobbly eucalyptus type leaves. They're pretty. There's my other one. my knees. I'm trying to get the angle to get these stuck down. Oh. I'm going to be ordering a lift so I can lift my pieces of furniture up. Hi Erin! I know the colours are fab, aren't they? But I'm starting to, I'm getting old now. I need to not be on my knees and sitting on the floor and doing this. So I'm going to order a lift to lift my pieces of furniture up. Because I can't on my own get them up onto a table for a decent height. But I just need it to be a bit more knee friendly. That bit's gone on quite nicely. Oh, this curve driving me mad. Sorry. As soon as you get that tiny bit that just doesn't want to stick, once you've caught it and the adhesive, there we go. As soon as you've got it, you're okay. It's just the every now and then those curves are just they are worth persevering with. I definitely recommend persevering. I've got a little bit that doesn't want to come off there. There we go. I've got a little white something happened there which needs touching up, but that's looking pretty good. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so then we have to carry on. What I might do is I'm just trying to see which piece is going to be, I think that one might work better. So, some people ask us, the creative team, the brand ambassador team, when you're joining certain colours, it won't be so noticeable on this one. There's a couple that it's slightly more noticeable on, but the print line at the edge of where the transfers are printed, if you cut ever so slightly over that edge, Roz has done a brilliant, she done a tutorial or has she done a quick live? Oh, I can't remember now. But you basically just cut right up and ever so slightly, I mean not even a millimetre, over the edge of the print line, and it will eliminate that kind of build up of print colour. It won't show so much in the darker colours, but it would show further up on the lighter colours. So this is going to be the same principle. I really was hoping to get more done with you guys today, but I can't believe how long those curves have broken. So again, I've lined up my bottom piece. I'm going to cut along the bottom of the draw line. Oh, stick, there we go. I'm just going to pop that back on the backing sheet while we deal with this little piece, which didn't want to hold on. So this is only a small section here, and we're going on onto this curve. Another curve. Trim that bottom piece off there, because I know I'm not going to be using that piece. So, what are your plans for the rest of the week? Do you have time off? Are your kids off school? I've got another week of Gracie being home. Delightful as it is, I don't get a great deal done when she's here. So I do feel like I have not achieved masses in the last 10 days or so. I feel like I'm back to working in my kitchen most of the time. Stick up there. You're going to make some resin moulds, Lisa. Do you know what? It's quite relaxing actually, resin. Oh, that little edge. There we go. This little bit doesn't want to do what I want it to do. There we go. Come on. Okay, crikey. Goodness me. Oh, I'm hot. Flustered. Okay, let's get the next section on. So again, we're going to line up with our, if I can find it, there we go, with our previous part. Just stick it down with your hand. The heat from my hand, certainly, right now, will hold that in place. The relaxing resin set. Lisa, you've got snow now. Isn't it bizarre? Our weather is just... We've got no, we've not got snow. We've got blue sky with a little bit of cloud. And the handles on this were half missing. So I've got these cute little, can you see, they're like crystal roses, but they're not cut crystal, they're more like moulded crystal. I say crystal, plastic, resin. So I'm thinking that that's going to be the handles for this, to follow on with the flower theme. Loving these greens up against the navy blue. Really, really pretty tones. And, you know, the vibrancy. But if I just hold, you know, it's also going to look awesome up against that turquoise. Sunny and snowing. Yeah. Bizarre. Just feeling like I haven't actually got much there that's going to go up onto that other drawer, so I might just cut that close, take that piece off. I might do the same over there, because I'm not actually going to get much, I'm not going to get much on that drawer, do you see what I mean? So I might just trim that piece close as well. And then I'm not having to wrap quite so much, but like putting those tiny bits up there I think might have been a bit pointless. Yeah. Plus it's more curves, guys. So this has taken way longer than I was thinking. I was hoping to have, using the two transfers and getting everything done probably was ambitious in an hour, if I'm honest. But I didn't think the curves were going to be quite so tricky. But this is a perfect example of, you do have to be patient. I couldn't have done this any quicker. But imagine if you were having to paint this all by hand. That's the only thing I would say. Yes, they will take longer. They are worth adding to your pieces because you can command, if you're selling your furniture, you can command higher prices for your furniture. But imagine if you're having to paint all this by hand, how much longer it would take you. It's Marina, you're on the Isle of Man and it's freezing. We had a massive ship. I feel like there's something missing from the end of that sentence. Hi Chelsea. Hello Chelsea. Fancy seeing you here. I'm just going to pull this drawer out if I can and just trim off that bit of leaf that's not going to go anywhere. Get rid of this as well. Chelsea, shouldn't you be asleep? Or is it early morning for you? I posted your comment halfway through, Marina, never mind. So I was desperately, I kind of woke up yesterday morning after realising that I'd done nothing over the weekend, and realised I had nothing prepped for today's live. So I have pieces of furniture, but I had actually nothing prepped. So I desperately spent yesterday cleaning and painting this piece. And what I should have done is put a little bit of the transfer on. Francie, hi there. You have no idea what's happening yet. We are using, do you know what? It's kind of taking me a lot longer than I had planned. So we're using, this is Earthly Delights. This is painted in Midnight Blue and Sea Glass by Paint Couture. And this is the Earthly Delights transfer, which is one of the big ones that comes in six sheets. And I've not got as far along as I was hoping. I probably should have applied some of the transfer before the live, so that I was kind of finishing off one, because I also intended to add the flower collector over the top. So that was the plan. That was the plan. But the curves and things, we talked about at the beginning how if you've got a nice flat fronted piece of furniture or cabinet doors and everything's flush, it's a much easier application. I can't speak even. Much easier application. So in itself, I've given myself a challenge, because this has got edges in the drawers. The bottom piece I wanted to curve it round. And at the top, I would have started at the top on the framework and come down. So I don't think I could have, apart from getting some done before coming live and not being starting from scratch, I probably set myself a very high expectation to get this whole piece done in an hour. But won't it be lovely when I can show you the finished piece? Hi, Joe. Joe's recently used the flower collector on an amazing piece with purples and pinks and oranges. Oh my God, Joe, your colours are amazing. Beautiful. And flowers, you put flowers on that one too. We do love a bit of combining the text from one and flowers from another. I'd say that's probably quite a common occurrence among the team, is to mix and match and layer that kind of combination. So if you haven't already seen, in the description for the post, I've popped, there's a link there for retailers. So if you haven't already got a local retailer, or you don't know where you, if you're looking, you're looking to buy for the first time, there's a link there so you can find a retailer. If you prefer to buy online, there's also a link, there's two links in fact. There's a link for you guys in America, in the US, to buy directly, so that's an affiliate link from me, and also there's a link for UK customers now as well. And if you go to my page, I've also got, you can kind of buy through my shop, it'll take you to those places to check out if that's easier for you. And we're back at a curve again. Back to a curve. Loving the curves today. Loving the curves today. doing. Another piece missing. There. No, doesn't want to go. I'm going to do that bit in a second. Okay, how are we getting on? 10 minutes. Crikey, I'm never going to get that bit done, am I? Yes, Sam, it does just take... Do you know what? These things do take time. Making things pretty takes time. But there we go. So I'm getting... There's a little tiny piece missing that's on my top sheet, which I will do in a minute. But... Okay, let me just show you the piece that I planned to get done and layered. But I haven't had a chance. So... this I think was going to, I'm trying to remember now how I had it. Yeah, so this was going to be here. Do you know what? How high does that go? Yeah, I am going to have to do that over the top of there. I was thinking maybe I'd get away with doing a bit of gold for you. It's not going to happen because I am going to have to overlap it. Yeah. So that was going to be my gold writing. Can't see that, can you? My gold writing here. I'll just take it on and show you what... This is what I wanted to achieve today. That was going to go there. Oh, would you look at that? That was going to go there. And then that piece was going to be across the top, like that. Stick those bits back out. So that was the plan. Botanical magazine. You can see there. You wondered how you deal with the straight transfer in the middle of the drawer. Oh, you mean at the top? Or do you mean these sections? So again, it just depends on individual pieces, how you decide to break them up. Oh, it's because I've already stuck, it's masking tape and I've already stuck it, so that's the plan. That's how it's going to look out. Yeah, it will be beautiful. So guys, I think we'll probably draw it to a close. There's not much else that I'm going to get done to show you any different. But lessons learned from today. This is going to take more than an hour. If you had a completely flat fronted piece of furniture, you'd be acing it. Also, lay your piece down on its back. It's easier for everything you work against. It's easier if you put it down on its back. I only got it like, literally, I would be doing this on its back. I'm doing it like this because I'm live and it's easier and I can see your comments and questions and things. So work in sections, especially on the curves, all of that's good. It's worth it. It's going to look cool. I'm really pleased with how it looks, but it's just going to take time. It's just going to take time. I think it's worth taking that little bit longer because you don't want any of the pieces to lift. You don't want to lose any sections. I was also going to show you, so these are the, like I said, these are the handles, but can you see they've got silver backing? I have, for the purposes, because we're going with gold, I've used Decor wax. I've just used a dabbing brush from Redesign with Prima, and I've used, of course, It's Eternal, and I've taken it off the back and I've dabbed it all on. So it's gold, so that once that's sitting on there, it'll tie in better with the gold backing. Can you see? Rather than silver. So there's all those little finishing touches to do. Massive finishing touch there. Just as a recap, we used Earthly Delights, which is the pinky red florals, and we will be adding on the flower collector, sorry, which is the gold text. And I'm only going to be using 2 out of the 3 sheets. So this comes in 3 sheets, and I've just used the top 2. The bottom one I've got left over, so I can use that for something else. The colours that I've used is Paint Couture Sea Glass and Midnight Blue. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that, yeah, you see things, okay, nothing's particularly gone wrong. It's just been slower. And don't feel like you have to rush through these projects. They're well worth taking the time over. All the links are in the, as I said, in the description above. If you're watching on replay, if you can just pop a hashtag replay in there for me, that would be awesome. Pop over, drop Gracie's house some love if you haven't already, and I'll see you at this time again next week. Thanks guys, bye.